Hey everybody, I am so glad to see you tonight. I am in McMurray, Pennsylvania, and I'm about to introduce you to Sandra Conley, who I'm going to call Sandy because, we're connected. So, Sandy's a watercolor artist, and she has created a series, and I'm just going to switch it right now.
Hi,
Sandy, there you go.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, I have created the cookie dough series of paintings, and it's 21 paintings actually. 20 of the paintings depict a country in conflict, each one of them, and then a young person who represents that country for the hope of the future, and a traditional cookie from each of these countries. And so each of my pieces has those elements, but they're all unique.
Okay, so first let me ask you the name of this gallery.
Okay, this gallery is called the McMurray Art League Gallery.
And it's a 501c4?
Yeah, we're a nonprofit organization that's been around for 65 years.
Wow.
And
Very good.
it's a really good supportive organization for artists in our area.
Fabulous, fabulous. Where would you like to start?
Well, we can start here. This is I kind of did alphabetical.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the Democratic Republic of Congo. And this piece of art is called Congolese Kashada. What I did was name each of the pieces by the cookie. So this particular one is poignant for me because it juxtaposes the young people in the first world with the young people in the Congo. The Congo provides most of the cobalt in the world, and every single one of our electronic devices needs a tiny bit of cobalt.
Well, my favorite blue is a cobalt blue,
and
that's where it comes from, right?
It does.
Cool.
It does. But anyway, so the information in the painting kind of depicts the juxtaposition between the exploitation of the Congo and the how we in the first world might use kind of mindlessly, I suppose, use our devices.
Very cool. Yeah. Cuban?
And the Cuban one, of course, I'm old enough to know about the Cuban situation and communist Cuba and Fidel Castro and all of that. But anyway, this particular piece was done. Each one of these pieces I have some personal connection to. This happens to be our granddaughter and our granddog, which is a Havanese, so Havanese breed of dog. So I kind of wanted to just get Cal, our Havanese dog, into the painting.
Well, I love that you actually use the cookies because cookies are a part of, my childhood memories and some of the best of the memories, the hominess of the cookies, and I can relate.
Exactly.
I can relate to the cookies.
Well,
so.
that's kind of how this evolved. Was I think I recognized that there's a love. Who doesn't love
Who doesn't love cookies? Yeah.
So again, Guatemalan champuradas. I have a connection to a Guatemalan family who immigrated to Pittsburgh recently, and so this is someone who modeled for me. Many of these are models that I know, and so this is that was a fun one.
Wow.
And how long have they?
And Haitian, we have Paul and I, my husband and I, have been to Haiti on mission trips probably, I don't know, off and on 8-9 times over the last 20 years. And So this particular young lady is, working on a cookie and being taught by someone else in how to do this particular thing.
Do you have a favorite international cookie?
I do like the Cuban one, the Torticas de Marron. To die
Oh,
for.
wait,
It's
to
actually-
die for.
To
That's
die for, because what it's like is shortbread, which I love shortbread, but it's like a margarita in a cookie because there's lime and salt. And it's, I mean, there's no alcohol, but it's lime and salt and shortbread. And it's,
How can you get any better than that?
And India, Kaju Katli. Kaju is the Indian word for cashew. So this is kind of about the something that is served at Diwali, which is an annual festival from India.
Okay.
And Iraq, as a country in conflict, they've had a long history of conflict. But we have good friends who are well versed in making these Iraqi glacier cookies, so they are really good too.
So I'm noticing that along some of the images that you've created, yes, and little tables.
Well-
So did you actually have a tasting of some of these international cookies?
At the art reception, which happened November 16th,
Wow.
we had 21 tables filled with cookies, and this studio was filled with people here. And
taste
a lot
the
of the models
cookies.
came. Yes, a lot of the models were able to come. This particular person lives in Athens, Ohio, and is a dear friend of ours. And this is Israeli Hamantaschen cookies, and everyone seems to love the expression on the model's face.
I mean, that's how I feel about cookies, right
Exactly,
there, right there.
exactly. And this happens to be our granddaughter, Juniper, and she's representing Italy. We happened to travel to Italy, and before I really fleshed out the whole concept for this, I did this particular piece. And of course, Italy may not be in a country in conflict currently, but it's had its day.
Absolutely.
As represented through the Colosseum and
And Sandy, I love your black and white with a touch of color.
a lot of these are mixed media.
Mixed media.
So yeah, I work on a really nice 500 series Strathmore illustration board, and it can take any medium. And I've used either mixed media, watercolor, some pastel. So yeah, it's really kind of fun.
To live without humiliation. That
Yeah,
is
this is-
really an interesting title for this. Tell me a little bit about this.
Sure.
To live without humiliation.
Well, this again, we know some immigrant families, and this particular family left Syria about 11, 13 years ago, something like that, and then moved to Jordan. And in Jordan, they were unable to live a good life again. So they made application, and they are legally now in the United States as immigrants. And this is their oldest son, and the dad is a professional baker. And so he made the kanafa, the Iraqi klesha, and another one called bulbul, which if we we continue this, we'll get to.
Yeah, we're going to see them all. I tell you, his eyes are
Isn't he-
joyful, and I feel
hopeful.
his hope.
Exactly.
Exactly. I feel his
I
hope.
agree.
And isn't food the way that we all connect?
It can be.
I mean, the choice of cookies is just genius. I just need to tell you that.
We just
I
learned
totally
today that he is, I mean, the kids are, they're thriving, but he is the student of the month in his
for
class.
him. Good
He's
for
a
him.
very, very bright young
Those
man.
eyes are indeed bright, indeed bright. Well, let's pop over here. This is really a cute studio, gallery, yeah.
Thank you.
I'll let you tell me a little bit more about the nonprofit gallery here in just a little bit.
Sure. Well, this
Mexican hot chocolate cookies.
These are really tasty. And
Where-
they do
where's-
have a little bit of a kick. If I had some here, Tim would love them because he likes the hot stuff. But there's this particular one, again, I would say the Mexican and American relationship is kind of
So tell me a little bit about this little narrative or essay under each painting.
what I did
I'm gonna
was
scan to you.
I tend to be a person who doesn't naturally collaborate. I'm fairly singular. But I recognize that it's better if you can collaborate. And in this project, I invited friends and people who I know are good writers to write a 250-word essay in relation with this art that I've done. And so any number of these are essays by some really good writers who have a connection to one of those countries. So
Wow. I'm so impressed, and I just cannot get over the connection that you bring us all together, unity through cookies.
Right. Well, this particular one is so dear to my heart. This is my grandson, and his father wrote the essay, and they are both Native American. And I will just read the first part here. It says, Ren Baloo is a Pokagon band citizen from the Potawatomi. He is Bear Clan and a keeper of the fire.
Wow.
And what our son-in-law wrote about is his grandmother, who was is Native American. She's passed, but she was one of those people from the 20s, 30s who was taken from her family as a Native American and put into the Mount Pleasant Industrial Boarding School. And so she was taken away and anglicized.
Yes.
And so she really kind of lost her
heritage.
Her heritage,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's a wonderful story. I mean, it's a poignant story.
Poignant.
It's a
I get that.
sad
Yeah, when you say
story.
wonderful,
What I mean
it's
is
a story of
good.
strength.
It is, and so like she said, although she did not have old stories or family recipes or a language to pass down, Elizabeth had a fierce love that burned like a fire. And when I ask Ren about his great-grandma, he remembers her cookies, warm from the oven.
Oh,
I tear up every time I read that.
yeah. You're making me feel that, yeah. We're going to have to pile through some of your other guests through the event, but yeah, we're going to have them move to the other side. Pakistan.
Well, I didn't have a model from Pakistan, but Malala Yousafzai. I'm sure a lot of people know who she is, but she's a Pakistani female education activist. And
We must tell girls their voices are important. I really do not care what culture that generally are spoken of, but the fact that you honor those voices speaks to my heart and my voice.
Well, I'm selling fine art prints of these pieces, and that one is the best seller.
I bet it is. I bet it is. So, yeah, I'll show that there at the end so anybody that's interested in making purchases can. Palestine.
In Palestine. This was the last one that I did. Of course, the situation in Israel and Palestine is tough. And this friend of mine who wrote the article traveled to both Israel and Palestine, and her article is very, her essay rather, is really poignant about Father Elias Shakur, who works to get the different cultures to be educated together, young people educated together.
Young people are our future. We have to touch their hearts. And if it's through cookies, so be it. Speaking of Russia and our future.
Yeah, right. And these Russian pryaniki cookies, just, I don't know, from a cookie standpoint, I just had to make these. They're molded cookies, and they're really fun. There's these carved wooden cookies, and our daughter, wrote this particular essay, and what she did was juxtapose the fact that the first carved wooden presses were designed by gun makers. So these people who would fashion, they were gunsmiths, and they were skilled craftsmen, and in their off time they would make the little wooden molds.
Cookie molds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So isn't, as Sarah says, the irony of a gunsmith crafting both a delicate pryaniki cookie press and a destructive weapon highlights the duality of human nature.
Duality,
Isn't that
yes.
something?
Now, was this person one of your models?
One of she lives in Athens, Ohio, and she's a friend of our grandkids, and and she does have some Russian heritage, Norwegian heritage, and so
Good for her and good for you. Yeah, we have about half a dozen more.
Yeah, this one is my granddaughter, oldest granddaughter, and we have a love for Scotland, and of course Scotland has, maybe right now isn't in conflict, but definitely has had a history.
A history. Yeah.
So
Oh, look at the
I
coo.
There's the coo.
The coo.
A hairy coo. And,
And the thistle.
Culloden, I don't know. That's a place.
Which is
Yeah.
where they finally lost.
Awesome. So we have historians talking about it behind us, guys.
Yeah, right.
We're okay.
Yeah, we
And
just.
this is Slovakian Medovniki.
Oh, he's dropped off.
Look at this face.
So this,
Oh
yeah,
my
this one
goodness.
is,
Drop off. It's starting up again.
again, the Slovakian people have had their times of conflict. Maybe not so much right now, but who knows? The Russian situation could impact what their
I think-
future might be.
I guess I feel like a little bit like there have been conflicts with every country, and there are some things that survived through. And the fact that you're using the cookies to represent how their cultural essence still survives really strikes me. I just think the cookie concept is just genius. I really do. And when you know, and there's history here everywhere, but yet the universal cookie really connects to me, and I love that. So before I move on to the last few, how is it that you put them together for this art exhibit?
I started with Ukraine in February of 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. I had a
and how
reaction
you got that
to that, and I often will, try to paint my feelings or whatever, So what I did was the very first one, which is.
Well, we're going to come up to that one, but we'll get to some of the others first. But go ahead,
Okay.
tell me how the first
So the
one.
first one happened, and then that was our granddaughter, our youngest.
Well, let's go ahead and look
Yeah,
at that one.
okay.
We'll come back to the other.
Okay.
The Ukraine.
Yeah. So this is the very first one that I did in February of 2022, and this is the skyline of Kyiv, and of course the sunflowers are representative
Yes.
of Ukraine and the traditional dress, and then the Ukrainian snowball cookies I've had in my cookie repertoire for a long time, and so I don't know, it just sort of all came together. But I still hadn't decided on, the scope of this. I did this one piece. Well, I'm the kind of grandmother who, if I do something for one grandchild, I have to do it for all. So then I decided, okay, I'll use those three things for, the Italian one, which was our one granddaughter, the Scottish one, which was our other granddaughter, and then the Native American, which is our grandson. So then from that, I then, did a few others until a few conversations happened, and I decided I think this could be a series.
It
And then I
is
really
indeed
scoped it
a
out
series.
and made it, decided on 20 countries, what they are, and gave myself a year to pull this all together and put it on the walls.
Well, they are
So,
beautiful. And I'm only
thank you so
sad
much.
because
I-
all the
I
tables
have
are empty
I
for
know, I
me.
feel bad. The cookies, I do have some cookies in the back, but.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you made me feel better. So we missed so I skipped over to go to the Ukrainian in the
Right.
beginning, so I wanted to come back to the Syrian
This is Syrian
conflict.
bulbul cookies, and again, these are shaped like little bird nests.
I thought they
They're
looked like
yeah,
bird
So
nests.
it's made
Yeah.
out of this phyllo dough that's kind of cut very. It's shaped differently. I'm not exactly sure. And a lot of honey and a lot of pistachio and whatever. They're really delicious. And again, our
This almost looks like it might be one of your favorite cookies, behind the
it's a good
shortbread.
one, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Did you
this
make
is-
all these cookies?
No,
Taste
no,
them
no,
all
this-
yourself?
No, I did not. This is the other one that was done by our Syrian baker.
Okay.
He's a professional baker, and he has in his head, I think, 100 different recipes, and he's made any number of them for us.
So I'm hearing that not only did you collaborate between the
The essayists.
so you brought together the country, you brought together the story, the conflict, and then you also reached out to the community for creating the cookies along with, I know some of these are your grandchildren, but some of them actually are folks that are connected to that country.
Correct, yeah.
Oh my
This
gosh, I am
little is of,
so moved.
Syrian heritage, and yeah.
I love
and
the
her
goldfinch.
family. Yeah, thank
I
you.
do.
Thank you.
I do. Oh, yep, there's,
And gotta have the USA. I mean, are we without conflict? No, we are not.
no, inside and outside, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And so.
And because we care about the world, we're affected by all the conflicts of the world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this young woman is a friend of mine from high school's granddaughter, and so yeah, I have connections to all of these models.
The
one way or
multicultural.
another.
Good for you.
And, yeah, and then of course, I mean, what's more American
Then
maybe
the
than
chocolate
apple pie,
chip,
but it's
American and chocolate
cookies.
chip cookie.
Right.
Yeah,
So yeah, and
Very beautiful.
had to put our Statue of Liberty there.
of course. I know. We love our idealism of freedom, don't we?
That would be wonderful. Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. And then this one is Vietnam. you know, I'm old enough to have lived through the Vietnam War,
Mm-hmm.
and so I wanted to include Vietnam in the my list of countries. And this young man is Vietnamese. The cookie itself is phenomenal. It is so good if you like coffee. It's called the Vietnamese iced coffee cookie, and I made them for the reception, and there aren't any left. I have to make a new batch because they just, you know, kind of flew off the tray. They're really, really good.
And you know, we just passed up the Statue of Liberty, and we know that this country wanted to stand up for and speak for this, the liberty and the freedom of the Vietnamese. And so let's just honor all of our Vietnam vets,
Yes,
our
absolutely.
MIA vets, and appreciate
And
their
this
sacrifices.
young man came because you know, there was an avenue for Vietnamese people to come to the United States. And
Yes.
very, you know, an entrepreneur, and you know, very a success story. So,
Yeah, we don't leave any of them behind, do we? We don't. Okay, who's our last?
This one is a special one.
Okay, well, I'm going to feature you first, and then I'll turn to the
okay.
picture.
Okay, well, I call it Star of Wonder, and this does not represent a country.
Okay.
But it was our Christmas card from 2023, and what I was wanting to do was, yes, all three elements, well, two of the three elements are there. The young person, the cookie, and what I'd like to hope for is our universal, borderless, conflict-free sense of wonder, surprise, and hope. And that's, I just had to include that painting because, you know, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Wouldn't that be
And I
wonderful?
even wrote, "May it be so, my friends.
May it be so, my friends. May it be so, my friends. Well, thank you. I know you go by Sandra Conley. I'm going to call you Sandy. But let me share this with everybody. So all of the images are available either in note cards or in prints. So if it's something you're interested in, or an entire little
I
booklet.
do have a catalog as well.
Yeah,
And
there you
it's a
go.
signed catalog, and yeah, it's got all of the essays and all of the prints in it.
So there we go. There's the price list for it. So, and here's some of the prints. So if you have a favorite, ooh, got a little glare. If you have a favorite and you're interested in any one of them, reach out to me and I'll get in contact with Sandy and make that happen for you. Sandy, it is a beautiful exhibit, and it is an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
This is our first meeting, and hopefully it won't be our last. I look forward to maybe a collaboration in our future. But so tell me a little, just briefly, very briefly. So this gallery is operated by
McMurray Art League.
and they are a 501c. They're a nonprofit, and soon to be. But they're operated by this nonprofit, so if you feel like there's some kind of way you want to reach out to me, and I will get you in connection.
We're near Pittsburgh.
Yes,
This
very
is
near.
going out to the world. We're Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So,
The whole world from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or near of. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sandy, and it's been an honor and a privilege to not just see your work, but to see your hearts. So thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching.